Your brain wakes up when the world shuts down, and suddenly the thoughts you could not access all day begin lining up clearly, almost beautifully, like everything finally makes sense, and you wonder why your best ideas, your deepest reflections, and your most honest realizations only seem to appear at night, when everyone else is asleep and distractions fade away, and it feels like your mind finally belongs to you. Psychology says this is not random, and it is not magic. Your brain operates differently at night, because certain mental filters weaken, cognitive noise drops, and your subconscious gains more influence, which creates the illusion that you think better after dark. During the day, your brain is in survival mode, constantly reacting to notifications, conversations, responsibilities, and social expectations. This activates what psychologists call cognitive load, which is the mental effort used to manage tasks, and research shows that high cognitive load reduces creativity and deep thinking, because your prefrontal cortex is busy making quick, practical decisions instead of exploring abstract ideas at night. However, that pressure decreases. There are fewer inputs, fewer judgments, and fewer demands, which allows your brain to shift from reactive thinking to reflective thinking, and suddenly connections form more easily. There is also something called reduced inhibition theory, which explains why tired brains can become more creative as mental fatigue increases. Your brain's internal sensor weakens, and normally filtered thoughts are allowed to surface. This is why late at night you might have bold ideas, unusual insights, or emotional clarity that seemed unreachable earlier. Your brain stops overcorrecting and starts exploring, and psychology says creativity often increases when logical control slightly loosens, because innovation requires mental freedom, not constant evaluation. Another powerful factor is the default mode network, which is a brain system that activates when you are not focused on external tasks. This network is responsible for self-reflection, memory processing, and imagining future scenarios. During the day, it is frequently interrupted, but at night, when the environment is quiet, the default mode network becomes dominant, which explains why you replay conversations, rethink life choices, or design entirely new futures in your head. Your brain finally has space to wander, and wandering often feels like thinking better. There is also dopamine regulation at play during nighttime hours. Dopamine levels shift in ways that can heighten emotional intensity and perceived insight. This is why thoughts can feel deeper, more profound, or even dramatic. Psychology calls this mood congruent thinking, meaning your emotions influence the tone of your thoughts, and at night, when you are alone, your mind often turns inward, amplifying reflection and sometimes overthinking. And if you have ever solved a problem at midnight only to question it in the morning, you have experienced how state-dependent cognition works. Your mental state shapes how intelligent your thoughts feel. Finally, nighttime removes social comparison and performance pressure. During the day, social evaluation anxiety quietly shapes your thinking. You filter ideas based on how they might be judged, but at night, there is no audience. And when judgment disappears, authenticity increases, and research shows people generate more original thoughts when they feel psychologically safe, and nighttime creates that safety naturally. So if you think better at night, it is not because you suddenly become smarter. It is because distractions fade, inhibition softens, emotional depth increases, and your brain shifts into reflective mode. But remember, clarity born in quiet still needs daylight testing, because balance between emotion and logic creates the strongest insight. If this made you see your nighttime thoughts differently, subscribe for more psychology that explains the hidden patterns behind your everyday behaviors, and comment below what your brain thinks about most after midnight.